Okie doke, let's talk about authority and leadership and why these are two really important concepts that play a vital role in influence. Now, authority and leadership, they both involve the ability to influence others. And when we take the neuroscience, this is going to provide us some insights into the mechanisms underlying this influence. Now, research has shown us that when individuals perceive somebody as an authority figure, they tend to respond to their commands automatically without questioning legitimacy at all. Now, this is because the brain's reward system is activated when an authority figure is perceived. Now, I'll say that again. The brain's reward system is activated when an authority figure is perceived. Just perceived, because this leads us to a release of dopamine, that neurotransmitter that's associated with pleasure and reward. So just the presence of an authority figure is enough to push us over the edge. Just a presence of us perceiving somebody who is in a position of authority leads to that release of dopamine, leads to that release of pleasure and reward, that feeling of, oh, I feel good. And this is just their presence. This is just the presence of this authority figure, which can affect our decision-making processes in the brain. And this comes down to your prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for decision-making. And it's actually less active when individuals are in the presence of an authority figure. And because of this makes people more susceptible to suggestions and less likely to engage in critical thinking when they are in the presence of somebody who they see as authoritative. So that means they question less, they ask less questions, and they just tend to automatically obey what authority figures say. Now, leadership, on the other hand, this involves the ability to influence others without relying solely on authority. So effective leaders utilize specific brain regions to motivate and to inspire others. For example, there's been a lot of studies that have shown that your anterior cingulate cortex is involved in empathy and social cognition, and these are really important traits for effective leadership. Leaders who exhibit what we call transformational leadership, which involves inspiring and empowering followers to achieve shared goals, they have more activity in the prefrontal cortex and the amygdala, and these are both involved in emotional regulation and decision making. So what this suggests is that effective leadership, it involves both emotional and cognitive processes in the brain. And so effective leaders need to light up and activate and engage both emotional and cognitive functions and structures and processes in the brain. So a lot of this gets put into a melting pot, and it sort of ends up being, well, okay, you're telling me that people think less or they question less. Isn't that a little bit manipulative? Yeah, it is a little bit manipulative. This is what influence is. And this is why influence can be a really good thing or a really bad thing. We talk about positive peer pressure. We talk about negative peer pressure. That's a very, very basic understanding and concept and explanation of influence. So how do we decide how we use these? Well, philosophy provides us with insights into the concepts of authority and leadership from a different angle. Now, in particular, philosophers have explored the ethical implications of these concepts and how they relate to power and responsibility. And one of the most influential philosophers on this topic is Immanuel Kant. And he argued that authority must be grounded in moral principles to be legitimate. Now, he believed that individuals should only be compelled to follow the commands of an authority figure if those commands are consistent with moral principles, such as the principle of respect for human dignity. Now, similarly, many philosophers have explored the ethics of leadership and how leaders can use their power responsible. Now, Aristotle, he argued that good leaders must exhibit virtuous characteristics such as courage, such as wisdom and justice, and that leadership should be aimed at the common good rather than personal gain. So there's different ways that you can use it, and it comes up to you being a moral and an ethical leader. And leaders can use this knowledge of the Braintree reward system to be able to create a positive environment for people around them that motivate and inspire and engage the people around them. And this can involve things like providing rewards, such as praise or recognition for good performance, or physical material rewards, like give me the cash, baby. Now, additionally, leaders, they can also use these insights from neuroscience, and this is what I think is really important, is we can use these insights to encourage critical thinking. And we do that by creating environments of safety and belonging for people. Now, this means that we can create an environment where people feel comfortable questioning authority. Now, why do we want this? Because when this happens, this actually leads to better decision making and better outcomes. So we want that. We want better decision making, right? Now, authority and leadership are really important concepts that have a big impact, a really significant impact on personal and professional performance. And neuroscience and philosophy both provide us valuable insights into these concepts, including the underlying mechanisms and also the ethical implications. How are you going to use this? So it's up to you to put these insights into practice. And by utilizing these insights, people can improve their authority, they can improve their leadership, and they can improve them in a way that creates positive outcomes for themselves and for other people. And that's what we want to do at the end of the day. Until next time, I'll see you. Bye.